Shalom. Before I get started, I'm going to start by saying Call Halam like Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Kwakwadash. Double honors to my apostle elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect out there laboring on and believing in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Kwakwadash. To USA Shalom. This is Brother Amawan from the GMS Charlotte camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Kwakwadash. And before I go into this lesson, I want to read this precept here in Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 1, and it reads, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." All right, and the words of prophecy have been speaking loud and clear, you know, ever since the men of the Lord has been on the highways and byways, starting with our apostles and our elders. All right. And in this lesson, I want to speak on the event that happened last week with the, Capitol Hill protest, which pretty much you had them Edomites, raiding the Capitol Hill building. All right. Now you had in the news, Esau pretty much scrambling to try to, recover from that, so to say, man. How they've been rounding up, the people that went in there, making arrests and everything. But all these things that you were seeing happening, all right, we've been speaking about, starting with our elders and apostles, for years now, because the scriptures warn about insurrection. They warn you about, that division that America is pushing right about now, man. All right, so this is prophecy speaking loud and clear, and you cannot say that we haven't been telling you this throughout the years, because these very things are written in the scriptures, man. All right. So the Capitol Hill raid was pretty much the first of many that's about to happen, man. Because this comes into this article from ABC News, and it reads, "Armed protest being planned at all 50 state capitals," FBI bulletin says. Because what you have happening with America being divided the way it is now because of the this past election, which these Edomites hopes and dreams were dashed to pieces when they saw President Donald Trump lose this election to Joe Biden, man. All right. And so what this has now done is split America down the middle, to where these pro-Trump Edomites, you know, are outraged that their president lost. So now, with Joe Biden going to, within this upcoming week, pretty much preparing to take office, these Edomites are showing their distaste for this decision that America is going into, man. All right, so what they're doing is pretty much about to wage war against the government, because they don't want to see Joe Biden take office, man. All right. So it says an internal FBI note obtained by ABC News shows warnings of a huge uprising. It says starting this week and running through at least Inauguration Day, armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals and at the U.S. Capitol, according to an internal FBI bulletin obtained by ABC News. The FBI has also received information in recent days on a group calling for storming state, local, and federal government courthouses and administrative buildings in the event President Donald Trump is removed from office prior to Inauguration Day. The group is also planning to storm government office in every state the day President-elect Joe Biden will be inaugurated, regardless of whether the states certify electoral votes for Biden or Trump. The FBI received information about an identified group intending to travel to Washington, D.C. on January 16th, the bulletin reads. They have warned that if Congress attempts to remove the President of the United States via the 25th Amendment, a huge uprising will occur. All right, and that's just what we've been, prophesying about, excuse me, for the longest now, man. Because Yahweh Shem Yahweh gave us warning signs to look out for, so that we know how close we are to his return, man. All right. This is the book of Luke. That's like in Matthew chapter 6, 24, verse 6. It says, matter of fact, I'll read up. I'm going to read verse 3 and jump down to verse 6. Matthew 24 and 3. It says, And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall the sign of thy coming, it's like, what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Jumping down to verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And this is the main sign to show us that hey, we here, baby. Hey, Yahweh Shai is about to return, man. Because America is been is this has been the most America that has been decided or divided, Salakia, you know, in history, man. Because these Edomites are ready to go to war over their president, man. All right, so the scriptures warn there was going to be a civil war. You know, there's going to be many wars, but it's going to be a war within America's soil, man. All right, so what these Edomites are doing is to prepare to go to war for their beloved President Trump, man. All right, and this thing says it has the FBI has received information on a group, calling to storm the Capitol, the Capitol buildings in each state. I want to bring this post that was sent by one of the brothers in the camp, and this reads off of Wimkin. I believe it's a app. It says so over in Wimkin and Parlor, they are promoting a militia march on Inauguration Day to stop Biden from entering the White House. This is insane, and this is a comment or the status actually that was posted to show this event is actually legit, man. All right. So it says millions of American militia will meet in Washington D.C. on January 20th, 2021, for the purpose of preventing any attempt by the treasonous domestic enemy Joe Biden or any other member or members of the communist organized crime organization known as the Democracy Party or the Democratic Party, Slovakia, from entering the White House belonging to we the people. In the event that justice is served and our re-elected President Donald J. Trump is sworn in, the President, the Capitol, and our national monuments will be protected from the proven violent leftist insurgents who have declared war against the United States of America and have been conducting an active insurrection in the United States of America. And it says pound sign MMM, which means Million Militia March. So these Edomites are ready to go to war over their country, but it shows you that America is split down the middle because this is actual Bible prophecy that's going to come to pass, man. All right. This is the book of Isaiah 19 and 2. It says, And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one. Matter of fact, I started one. This is the bird, Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And Egypt, which is America, because America is spiritual Egypt, according to Revelation 11 and 8. But it says that the heart of this place shall melt in the midst of it. And as you see, man, hey, America is in turmoil right now, man. All right, everything about this place is through. And it's just showing you how Yahweh Shemel Shah is destroying this place from the inside out, man. All right, to where you got the American citizens warring against each other, Edomite against Edomite, you know, showing you that, hey, America's through because Yahweh Shemel Shah is about to return and destroy this place. Verse 2, And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right, and this is what you're seeing happening, man, because you got these Edomites preparing to go to war with themselves, man. All right, the left wing versus the right wing, man. All right, the Edomites are not playing. You know, as you saw, man, which we all know that the Capitol building raid was a setup, you know, ran by Esau to pretty much bring in martial law. But this is just showing you the state that the world is in, man, because Yahweh Shemel Shah is about to return, man, because prophecy spoke on these things taking place, man. All right, this is the book of Luke, Saint Luke, chapter 12, verse 39. It says, "I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?" And that fire is pretty much speaking on all out hell that's going to be going on throughout the earth, man. And these insurrections that you're seeing happening are the beginning of that fire, you know, being kindled, man. All right, but it's gonna get way worse from here, man. All right, as we prophesied, man, 2021 is gonna be so bad that you're gonna have people wishing that 2020 comes back, man, because they thought 2020 was bad, man. You know, as we constantly say, man, hey, we're hastening the day of the Lord, man, because this we can see through prophecy that this might actually be the year where our Lord and Savior returns and delivers His people, man. Lord willing, we'll be of that number, man. All right. But I'm gonna jump down to verse 51. It says, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth?" It says, "I tell you, nay, but rather division." All right, and that division is what you're seeing now, man. All right, like I said, man, these Edomites are divided against each other, man. All right, they're ready to go to war and kill each other for the simple fact that they see that their country is falling, man. And instead of them seeing the true reason, which is Yahweh Shemal Shah, all right, they're blaming the other side, man. You know, they're blaming Biden, and the Democrats, for the demise of this country. When you look at it, man, all right, both of these guys are both Trump and Biden are both playing for the same. They play for the same team, and their end goal is to crash this place and bring in the new world order because they take orders from the same boss, which is the elites, man. All right. So Yahweh Shemal Shah said he's not going to give peace to the earth, but he's sending that spirit of division. And you're seeing this place is divided down the middle in every way, man. All right, from the political system, to the the men and women are pitted against each other, man. You know, the races are pitted against each other. It's total division, man. But this is the spirit of the Lord showing you that prophecy is taking place, man. All right, and this is Matthew 24:12, and it says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." And that iniquity that Esau was doing is his deception, man. All right, because you having him, hire all these crisis actors. Because that's who you saw, in that raid. Because a lot of those dudes are being exposed to be crisis actors, man. All right, but because of that Esau's his deception, man, you got people believing that this thing is all about sincerity, that these people are fighting for their country. No, man, they're following an agenda because ultimately Esau wants these things to happen so that he can push martial law. All right, and these insurrections that we're seeing happening, all right, is a small scale in the bigger picture because hey, Esau is playing both sides of the spectrum. All right, they have a saying called order ab chaos, which is order out of chaos, man. So they're stirring up all this turmoil in the earth just so they can go and bring in this martial law, man. All right, because what you're seeing happening with this whole, you know, uh, Trump and Biden situation is you seeing people turn on each other now, man. All right, so-called friends and family members are divided against each other because of their political views, their stances on, how they see the world and their opinions on what's right and wrong in their eyes, man. So division is totally being put in the air, man. But that's all due to Esau and his deception, man. All right. This is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And this is what you're seeing happening, man. All right, that sword is drawing now. Is ultimately is Esau bringing the hammer down on the whole world. But to them, for them to get to that point, they have to have the stage being set, man. What you're seeing with these insurrections, taking place throughout the country, man. All right. Now I say this: there shall be sedition among men. Look up this word sedition real quick. Sedition means to have a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Now, what you're seeing with Donald Trump, man, all right, he's been fueling a lot of this fire that's been taking place, man, because you just recently after the riot, had Trump suspended from all of social media. His Twitter was banned, his Snapchat, Instagram, all means of his social media has been banned because when they asked him for comments on the situation, he pretty much was he never condemned the people that was doing it. His actual words was we love you or I love you, go home. But he never spoke against the things they were doing because that's ultimately him feeding into these people's spirits to make them continue to rebel against the regime change, man. All right. And continuing on, it says, "There shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And what you're seeing with Joe Biden, the newly elected king of America, all right, these people are not regarding or respecting, this change, man. All right, they're opposing it to the point where they're ready to go to war to prevent him from taking that position in office, man. You know, and with them doing this, Esau has secretly signed paperwork to pretty much continue to strip you of your so-called rights, man. All right, and that paperwork is known as the Insurrection Act. Okay. Now, when you go into what the Insurrection Act means, it reads that it was last invoked in 1992 by George H.W. Bush during the unrest in Los Angeles after the acquittal of police officers who beat Rodney King, which we all know the story that the L.A. riots, and how bad that got, when they called they called martial law in L.A., to pretty much corral the streets to bring the protest down. All right, but it says, what is the Insurrection Act? The Insurrection Act gives the president authority to call on military and National Guard forces to suppress an insurrection if a state requested. If there is an insurrection that makes it impossible to enforce federal law, or if there is an insurrection or domestic violence that deprives others of their constitutional rights. All right, so it's pretty much saying that if martial law is declared, that it's pretty much going to strip you of all your rights, man. All right, I'm reading it over. It says the Insurrection Act gives the president authority to call on military and National Guard forces to suppress an insurrection if a state requires it. If there is an insurrection that makes it impossible to enforce federal law, or if there is an insurrection or domestic violence that deprives others of their constitutional rights. So you're going to be stripped from your rights, man, which they already have all the paperwork to do that, man. All right, this is one of many. All right, another one that comes to mind is the Patriot Act, which pretty much deems all Americans domestic terrorists if they go against the government's plans. And so this is all setting the stage for them to pretty much establish that martial law to strip you and you know pretty much make you a slave, man. All right, which goes into prophecy as I've been saying. And the proof of that keep going in Second Esdras 15 and 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." And why is that? Because when this martial law is established in the different cities, all right, they're gonna put roadblocks, you know, in different parts of the city to where you're gonna have to have travel papers to be able to go to and fro your destinations, man. All right. So it says, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, which 18 being the point. It says, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this is what you're going to see happen, because when they declare martial law, man, hey, your local law enforcement is going to have to take a step back, and you're going to see military troops come in, and more than likely it's going to be foreign troops who ain't going to have no pity or remorse over shooting no person in the street, no matter if it's a man, woman, or child, man. All right, or the elderly, whatever. All right, they're going to be strictly there to enforce the law that they were given, and if you try to disobey that, they're not going to hesitate to bring down pretty much judgment, man. Okay, so this is all taking place according to prophecy. So we understand the times that we're in, and we can see that Yahweh Shem Shai is on his way back. All right, but like I said, man, in the meantime, while this is all building up, man, hey, the Lord is putting that spirit of division in the air, man. All right, and this is what you're seeing happening, because this is tearing America apart from the inside out, man. All right, I'm in with this. Second Ezra 6:24. It says, and at that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whoso ever remaineth from all these have I told thee shall escape and see my salvation, and at the end of your world. All right, and the main point says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, because that spirit of division is being put in the air to where, like I said, you got the ones that believe that Trump was cheated and that he lost the election due to election fraud. You got ones that don't want to see Trump be reelected. So you got these people out here fighting for Trump. You best believe the same ones that's on Biden's side, they're gonna go to war for Biden, man. So it's gonna be an all-out war on America's soul, which is gonna bring in martial law, man. All right. So hey, the Lord is setting the stage pretty, man. All right. All the chess pieces are getting put into place, and all we have to do is sit back, and watch prophecy unfold, and continue to do our jobs, which is the report on these things, and continue to keep the law, statute, commandment, the best ability that we can, and a lot of Lord to work, man. All right. So hey, that's hey, man. It's a beautiful time that we live in, man. So I pray this was edifying. I'm gonna close it out. I give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakwadash. The waters to my apostle, elders, a great millstone, the time is truth, and the rule well. And Peter